Hi, everybody. Good morning. I think I'm live. My name is Lisa Dublin, and I am a certified life coach, the founder of the Speak with Confidence program. If you want to find out more about this program, I'm right here. Let me see if I can do it right, like right here. You'll see a little promo code for Speak with Confidence. We are starting in February. I'm so excited with how the cohorts are shaping up. And so you can find out more about the program there. But I am excited today. Started going live on a Monday, just going back to the basics. This is Basement Chronicles, a live stream that I began all the way back in 2020, and we know what happened then. And, up to now, it talks of staying power, if I may, and just bringing inspiration and clarity, just wisdom, that kind of thing, to have those kinds of conversations that I think are still very important. Back in the day, in 2020, we had more time, right? Life has changed. Life has perhaps picked up a lot of people are going back into the workplace. In fact, where I live right now here in Edmonton, come February 1, in a couple of weeks, some 12,600 people in the government of Alberta are expected to go back full time into the office spaces, into the workplaces. So they're going to be stopping the whole hybrid arrangement, and everybody's heading back into the office. There have been other places that have stopped the hybrid, even, or even remote working, and some people are lamenting it. And I remember in 2020, when we were sent home, March 19th to be exact, that when I tasted the life of being able to work from home, which I absolutely love, I began to pivot. I began to really like try to make life so that I wouldn't have to go back. And it has led me to where I am today. I'm a certified life coach, a speaker, somebody who teaches speaking. Throughout all of it, however, and doing all the reading, all reading biographies of people who've done way greater things than me, I've realized that there are certain preconditions for being the kind of person who has options, who wants to live the kind of life that you want. And so I want to invite you, for the next couple of weeks, I want to invite you to put an alarm in your phone. We're going to start on time. I had trouble with my mic this morning, so that's why I was a bit late, right? um I want to invite you to just join me on a Monday at this time for me to talk about something that I've called the 4D life, because I've looked at how I've been able to do all these things, how other people who've done way more and accomplished a lot more, how they also have been able to accomplish things. And it seems to me, and I want to teach on that today, and also introduce you to a couple new people, a couple people in my Speak with Confidence program, tell you more about the program as well. So stick with me. You can just let it play in the back while you go about your business, okay? Or while you are maybe driving in the vehicle if you are in another part of the world. I know it's about 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. It's also 9 o'clock in the Caribbean. So welcome wherever you're watching me from. Please say hi. Let's get right into this presentation. I actually have a presentation that I want to talk about today. And then every Monday, we're going to speak about one part of it. Okay. Are you ready? Are you here? How's your Monday going? You're in the land of the living. I hope you've told yourself great things this morning. Not that life is perfect, but to say that I'm alive, I've got breath, life will make a way. God will make a way. Like, you've got to start with that kind of understanding that, hey, yeah, it's going to work out for whatever reason. Like, something's going to work out for me. So, everybody, so when I really looked at how things happened in my life, let me take out a couple of things there. Let me remove the promo. I'll tell you more about it in a bit. Where is that promo? The QR code. I will remove the QR code for now. Okay, so let's go, right? When I really look at what works in life, and it came about as I was writing my book and all of those things, I realized that there were four things that were foundational to my growth, foundational to being able to be the person who produced, perhaps more than most people, truth be told, foundational to being able to accomplish more. And I call these things the 4D life, the 4D foundation. And these are desire, design, discipline, and determination. So I have begun, and if you are hearing me and this is making sense, and you think your people might be able to, benefit from such a speech, such a presentation, let me know. I come into places and I really talk about it because this is about personal leadership. And when you can lead yourself and when you are self directed with that kind of foundation, most likely then you can become the leader who leads others. Is that clear? Does that make sense? So let's just start with I won't go through all of it today because, the time is of the essence. But here's the thing: the four pillars in life, the four foundational pillars, according to Lisa Dublin. Desire, to have a burning hunger for a certain thing. Design, to have the architecture of the life you want, to not just take it as cookie cutter, but to decide this is what I want, this is what I'm going after, that's how I'm going to live, in spite of how you see other people doing it. Then, of course, a big one, and most people have it in some areas and don't have it in others. It's the same thing for me. Where I am disciplined, I get results. Where I don't have discipline, things go awry. And for most people, we can point to areas where we are super disciplined. No one has to tell us to do certain things. But in other areas, we could benefit from other, more discipline. Let's also talk about determination. And, I'll show you, I have a couple slides and so on. I'll show you how these things actually come together. Determination is unbreakable resolve to reach the finish line. Like, no matter what happens, I'm gonna get there. It's not that I don't care. Hey Naya, how are you? Good morning to you. Good morning, right? It is not even about, oh, yeah, there are obstacles, but determination is make a decision and make it right. Determination is I will find a way to get to that goal no matter how many obstacles get in the way. I'll regroup, I will come back and do it but I'm getting there. And these 4Ds, I call them the 4D life, the 4D foundation. I'm still like playing with it, getting it all together. But for me, these four things have governed my life. And at any point in my day, at any point in life, I'm literally in one of these states of being. So I wanted to talk about desire today. I think perhaps one of my biggest, let me stop the sharing. Let me stop and come back here. I wanted to talk about desire today and to ask you. I've presented the desire module kind of to my Find Your Fire group, our group of speakers that I brought together to get them going on speaking. And what has happened is they've done way more than that. They've like deeply gone into who I am, what I do, produce stuff, which I'm so happy for. And that has been such a blessing. So we were talking about desire. And as I speak, I'm going to leave every day, every Monday with something for you to do. That's what the application will be about. And I want to ask you, what do you desire in life? Desire, most people don't have it. Most people live life in a very lukewarm fashion, if I may, right? So, yeah, let me go back and share. So, here's the thing: most people are like, whatever, que sera, sera. Whatever will be, will be. Is that you today? Are you just going with the flow? Or can I take you back to when you wanted things in life very deeply, when you were a kid, for example, or even a teen? I remember, let me just tell you about my little experience with desire even as a teenager. I remember back in St. Lucia, I've always like been on this little, perhaps I always was on this journey of, can you hear me okay? Somebody let me know if you can hear me okay, right? I've always been on this journey of, exercise and that kind of thing. Hey, Victor, how are you doing? Happy New Year. Long time no see, my friend. So I remember I must have been at secondary school, high school, in St. Lucia, and my birthday was coming up. And there was this really nice little store in the boulevard in St. Lucia, in the middle of the town, called Y de Lima. And in the show window, there was, you remember, there was a exercise program called Get in Shape Girl. Who remembers that? Okay. Doesn't matter if I'm dating myself. So what? I'm aging like fine wine. Thank you very much. Okay. Right. So there was this Get in Shape Girl, a big box, a huge box, right? And it was in the show window. And this girl, a teen girl, she had leg warmers, and there was a bar. And I just used to, after school, go into the boulevard and just watch that box and be like, this is what I want. And I told my parents, that's what I wanted. And I just save it. And can you imagine? Have you ever done that? Every single day, I passed by that show window and I looked at that box and I saw myself in the leg warmers in the middle of the Caribbean. God help us. Right? Uh, and I got it. I got it. I didn't even know that it was a ballet like workout thing. So I would see me like doing plies and so on. I knew nothing about any of those things. But I saw that box. I wanted what was in it and I hankered after it. And for me, that was one of the earliest like experiences that I can point to about desire. And I know I'm speaking to adults here at different stages in your life, but it is not too late to want like we used to as children. I think that's the one thing I have more than most people. That even at this age of 50, I still have the childlike wonder of desire. It always starts there. Like what you want should be free from the limitations of how you get it. One of the stories I always relate is one that I heard Bob Proctor speak about when he says, like, he was working with this couple who wanted a house. And, instead of them just wanting it, they're like, yeah, we want it, but how are we going to get it? We don't have the money. We don't have this. He said, I didn't ask you how you were going to get it. I simply asked you, do you want it? And many times we don't desire because we don't want to be disappointed. But can I tell you that I believe, and life has proven it so many times over, that the way you get things is to first begin with that childlike spark that you won't let go. And what do you long for? What do you refuse to tolerate that maybe other people do? What about the bold declarations and visualizations that can help you to be the person you want to be? We've got to desire things with red hot energy. And I think, well, of course, here's the thing. Let me stop sharing for a bit. Here's the thing. As you get older, you get more disappointment. Is that true? And I believe it's because of we know about bureaucracy and red tape and people fighting you down and not getting what you want, right? And because of all of these experiences, death by disappointment, the death of desire comes because of living and how life knocks you down. But you've got to have that in, like, it has to just renew again. You have to have the hope. You've got to desire it because that is the fuel that literally takes you to the next step of perhaps getting what you want, going after the goal, grabbing it and not letting it go. It starts there. And so, what I want to say today is desire what you want what you want, like big things, little things, in between things. We've got to be so alive every single day that, it's an adventure in us, first of all, tapping into who made us. Like, that's how I begin my day. I hope you do as well. Like, God made you. So you want to check in with Him to know what you should be and who you should be, right? I feel that's very important. What do you think? You let me know. And that is where desires come from. There are certain things I would never have imagined wanting. They're always bigger than what I see. And just because of being in contact with who made me, with God, with He wants things for you. He shows you, he expands your mind. And that's where you really, really begin to dream of big things. There's something they call the big, hairy, audacious goal. Yeah, you can get those from the person who made you. So what are you desiring? How red hot is your desire? Or have you just become complacent? Complacent with life. You know what? I've literally heard people my age, which is, excuse me, I know you, if you're very young, people like Naya here might be saying like 50s old. That's fine. You can say it's old, but that's you're gonna feel it when you're 50 if you're saying it's old. Then if at 30 you're saying 50 is old, what happens when you're 50? 50 is not old, okay? I'm never gonna say like we're just aging like fine wine. The older we get, the better we become. Okay, that's exactly what's happening. Thank you very much. But if you're gonna have that kind of attitude, people my age are like, oh, I'm old, I'm on my way out. How are you on your way out? What are you talking about? There is so much more life to live. How can you start to settle from early? And it's not even as if, yes, Naya, I see that. It's not even as if settling is easier. Settling is tiring because you will be seeing all of these other people living their best lives, and then you live in resentment because you have just not taken up that sense of, I've got life to live. I can do this again, no matter how disappointed I have become or things have happened for me. You can begin to desire things again. The one thing I want to say about this before we go into talking about like some other things I want to, because I'll continue this conversation about the 4D life. That's it for this year. So follow me if you really want, like, it's foundational. Some things are so simple that we run ahead without getting them right. But from my experience, once you get stuff like these 4Ds right, desire, design, discipline, and determination, you can practically do anything in your life. So if you can tap into your desire today, you'll be much better for it. The one thing I also want to say about desire is this: it really entails you knowing yourself. You know what I mean? We're too busy. But I'm not saying that you have to like withdraw from everybody, but we need to spend time knowing who we are. What does that look like? Who are you? What do you like? What don't you like? One of the deepest questions I came across when I was doing this whole career change and pivot thing, I read books, and one of those books I read, I think it was called I Don't Know What I Want to Do, but this is not it. There's literally a book called that, you guys. I don't know what I want, but I know this is not it. That's literally the name of the book or something like that, very close to that. Anywho, that author asked the question. She said, look at your current job, right? And decide not just what you don't like about it, decide what parts of it you like. Think about it. To decide in any situation, not just what you don't like, but what you actually do like, because that can lead you to another area where those similar qualities that are amenable and pleasing to you might exist. So, part of knowing yourself and getting to desire is taking the time to know who you are, taking the time to do, I like to lead all of my clients and my students through those self-discovery exercises to help you to know who you are, because the more I know who I am, I know what I'm going to go after. I'm also going to know the things that I'm going to let go, and I'm going to say this is not me, this is not me. Or if something happens to me, I can in retrospect be like, this happened, I can take these steps to make sure it doesn't happen again, because it really does not reflect the identity that I subscribe to. Does that make sense? So we can't, for example, if you don't know yourself, you're going to desire every whim and fancy. And that's how people lose consistency. That's how they start very hot and sweaty and then they never finish, because you've dialed into a desire that is not you. The number of people who have come into, for example, like this virtual space and have wanted to do things because they see other people doing it, not realizing that it's not you. you haven't taken the time to see whether these actions that you see and admire actually reflect what you believe about yourself and life. If you do that dark work, right? And it's a concept I met on the on Friday. I was like, what is this dark work? It's not evil, okay? Like, I would have nothing to do with it if it were. It's about the work that you do in private when nobody is watching to improve yourself. It's the work that you realize is necessary to get to where you are, to get to where you want to be. There's also a realization with dark work, for me at least, when I looked at how was I going to pivot into being a coach and being a writer and a speaker. How was I going to do that? My first realization was, if it had to be, it was up to me. No one was coming to save me. No one was going to come and be like, hey, Lisa, hey, you're supposed to be this. Come, we will create this world for you to come be who you. Nobody's coming to save you. That realization, it makes you, for me, it was like, walk my basement, talk to myself, see myself doing the thing, and ain't nobody coming to save me. Yes, I'm gonna pray. Yes, I'm gonna have support from my husband, my family, and so on. But at the end of the day, if you want to go after big goals, no one's coming to save you. You better settle down and do this dark work. The dark work of what are the, like, let me give you some practical examples of dark work. I can't believe I've been speaking for 21 minutes already. Like, what is happening? What is happening? Okay? Let me give you some examples, right? So I take coaching very seriously. I take it, it's a whole field of expertise. You have to learn it. I'm certified, but a lot of this knowledge came from being careful and being and honoring the craft. And no one had to tell me to do that, but it separates, I think, just surface coaches from people who actually, can get deeper results for others. And it comes from, what is the craft? What do I need to learn? What's the curriculum? Who do I need to follow? How do I need to practice? What do I need to be noticing from other coaches to be able to get where I came? That was the dark work where coaching was concerned. Dark work where speaking is concerned is taking the time to be able, like speakers who are able to, like professional speakers who can pull quotes out of their pockets, usually are more impressive than people who are mumbling and stumbling all over the place. So dark work sometimes entails me repeating things, even though, yeah, it's in my head, but it repeating things and crafting my openings and my segues, etc. That's the dark work in your field. What is the private work that, if people don't have to see it, what they will see is the fruit of it? And that is the tip of the iceberg. The dark work is what's beneath the surface. It's the private, lonely work of slogging away at excellence until you get there. And in every field and every area of your life, I the more you do that kind of work is the more success you have out there. People don't see, when you plant the seed, but they sure will see the fruit of it. And I love that concept because the 4D life that I speak about, desire, design, discipline, and determination, that is the dark work of making yourself successful, of overcoming, of pivoting, of getting unstuck. And many of us don't want to do it. We want the quick fixes. We want things to happen in a hurry. When if you take the time and you sink your teeth into one thing in particular, or even one thing at a time, you will get results. So join me again next week, Monday, same time. We will continue this talk. So I started with desire today. I want to do more on it. There's so many subtopics under this 4D foundation that I'm just grateful that I have something to talk about. But I want to show you something now. I want to tell you about my Speak with Confidence program, which represents, the dark work that I've been doing beneath, just in the background, and it's bearing fruit in my students' lives. I want to introduce you today to a lot of my the graduates of the program. So I am also the founder of the Speak with Confidence program, and I say that with all humility and pride at the same time. To have something that works for people, to have a program, it's a 6-week program, both virtual, and it's also now in person in Canada. In Edmonton, we're running our second cohort in Edmonton. That one is almost filled. I'm so excited for those people who've already signed up. We just have a couple more spots. But here's what why join Speak with Confidence? Let me tell you, there are different kinds of reasons people come. I've had students who've come because they are on the cusp of change, like they've recently been promoted and they want to secure that job. So they're promoted and they have a probationary period, and they're like, I'm coming in to Speak with Confidence to ensure that at the end of the 3 months or 6 months or whatever, depending on how high up they are, that I get this job. And they do that by building their confidence, by speaking up, by getting the ability and the courage to speak up, to give solutions in the workplace or in the business place, and to ensure that these kinds of things stay for them. I've got people who've come in to Speak with Confidence because they're at the point of losing their job. They've been told shape up or ship out. Okay. And we have worked together to make performance reviews, or what's it, they call it a something development plan, a professional, a progressive development plan or something. No, that becomes of non-effect. We've done that so that whatever needs to be fixed is fixed. Whatever problems, especially problems with like interpersonal relationships and so on, some which what way you learn to be more sociable and more you learn to communicate better in Speak with Confidence. We have people who come in to Speak with Confidence because they have moved countries and they want a way into their new society. It's very hard leaving where you came from, where you had your credibility, you had your professionalism all set up, and you come into a new place where you don't just have to start from scratch. You might also have to deal with people's stereotypes. You have to deal with a new community, and you are out of sorts. Like, what do I do? And Speak with Confidence provides family, provides support, provides strategy for people to get into their new society and take their place, take up space, and not in like an aggressive and offensive way. But diversity is beautiful. It really is. And it gives you way more options, way more solutions. It has been proven that the companies that invest in diversity, companies that are more diverse, are actually more valuable and provide more effective solutions to the public. And by obviously, if you do that, they are, in terms of profitability, they are also more profitable. So you want to be the person, no matter who you are, where you come from, you want to be that professional or that business person who does not even think of any attending negative things, but has a solution and will say it. Will make friends, will network well, will show up confident and secure in yourself enough to be confident and secure to go out and meet people. All of these things matter. And so we have those kinds of people. We also have people who are good at speaking, but something's off. Oh, geez. And these ones have the gift of the gab, but sometimes they mightn't take on the appearance. They're like, okay, you don't need to look at me, you just need to listen to what I'm saying. What? Excuse me. In Speak with Confidence, you learn the concept of what I call eye candy, and I do not apologize for it. Excuse me. Like, look your best, because we are also visual. We humans are visual. So you learn to take pride in your image and in your words and your message. The two things go together. Thank you very much. You learn to put the two together. We're not about fluff. We're not about the Teflon. I always say they don't stay. but we are about building confident and authentic speakers. In fact, let me put back for right now, actually, my team put together. Where is it? Where is that QR code? Okay, this is a promo, and I think it's only until Tuesday, tomorrow. Tomorrow is the 20th. Until tomorrow, 11:59 p.m. That's what I've been told. You can get $100 off this course. This course is life changing for so many people. There's something about confidence that I've discovered that I share all the time. I see it in my own life. How is it that you get confident in one area and it just spreads into other areas of your life? You guys, and this is Angela right here, one of our amazing students who's, oh geez, you should see her doing her interviews and so on. Go check her out. She's on LinkedIn. Go follow my people, because one of the things that I've pledged to do and Speak with Confidence is to push my people, because you're here, you're a family. They're doing great things. So Angela now works with the High Commission in the UK. And now she runs a podcast with another Speak with Confidence graduate, her very good friend. I'll show you her in a while. They do their podcast on the side, but even professionally, Angela, and she had already stepped out. Not to say that it's just Speak with Confidence, but how is it there's a boost in the productivity and how she's showing up? Like, she's being called upon to just do the interviews and just be out there promoting the best things about her, about the organization and the people who she works with. That's the kind of confidence that comes from being in this program, that you just simply take life. And so I wanted to show, this is your Mashni. This is, so the red would be Speak with Confidence Canada, and the amber right there would be Speak with Confidence International. Because the program, we run two programs. We run the program in Canada, in Edmonton. It's in person, and that experience was so powerful, so different. And what's the advantage of the program that is virtual? That one has one-on-one coaching attached, so that I meet with those students. Okay, what am I doing here? What's really happening? Okay, so I meet with those students one-on-one for the 6 weeks that we are together. They get one hour of coaching each student. So the program is pretty small still. We only take 10 people per cohort, because we just go so much in depth. We're probably going to put out like a course that you can, just do at your own pace, and we just provide support for the evaluation of the speaking, but not for right now. It's still in person. We still touch our students' lives, right? So this is Mashni. Go check her out. Mashni Jewelry is her business, and just as beautiful as she is just as she came in to Speak with Confidence. She did the in-person cohort, that first cohort, and Mashni is also a certified life coach, has been for the last 20 years, okay? Like, people are now awakening to what life coaching is, and this lady right here in Edmonton has been a life coach for 20 years, right? And she came in to Speak with Confidence, really wanting to make the program work for her, and just had this huge awakening on confidence and what it meant to have a voice, and went out and took such massive action in her business to make it what she wanted it to be. So it's just an amazing story of the fact that when you are confident in one area of your life, many times you find that confidence in other areas. She's a great example of what can happen. And the in-person experience is particularly special for me, because I get to see the students one-on-one. Like, you get to see their reactions and so on. And that is why I added in the coaching with the virtual, because we don't have one-on-one, we don't have in person, but I sure can deal with as personal things, in the coaching session. So this is Alice from cohort 8. Alice at the time was in another country. I think she was in Turks and Caicos when she did that program, and wanting to come out. And she says, Speak with Confidence made me see that my voice mattered and needed to be heard. And she's taken massive action, made life decisions. I keep in contact with all my students, and it has been a pleasure. So This is another boss student of mine, Clarita Monroe, is from cohort 7. And Clarita has her own business in New York. She's a single mom and she's doing many things. And here's what happened: she did speak with confidence. And now Clarita has recognized the power that she has as somebody who brings people together. There's some you If you don't expose yourself to different experience, you're never going to discover yourself. And that's what has happened with this young lady. Like, she's gone out into her community and realized that she's a connector of people, and that has come from stepping out. She has a podcast. She and Angela do this podcast together. And they just do great things. So they're interviewing bigger and bigger people, from what I see, and just living life at a higher level. That's what happens when you have confidence. Okay, I don't want to it's like 35 minutes in already. Okay, so this lady is actually a personal friend. I'm so proud of us. So proud of us. Charmaine Poyot has been in the HR field for, are you ready? 25 years. And we're actually classmates from way back when. I think way perhaps back in elementary school. Anywho, she joined the last cohort of the virtual program, and she said, in particular, her profile is already online, so I'm free to say this. She said, "I want my second wind." Right? We were on the cusp of 50, and she's like, "I want to get my second wind back." And Charmaine came into the program. She's already a really dynamic speaker. And I think what the program did for her was to help her to just reignite the passion for life. Of course, it's very good at showing you the pillars of speaking. It's based on a solid curriculum. So whether or not you're a great speaker, you are fine tuned in certain areas, particularly how you look at your audience, if I may. And secondly, like using the very enhanced AI tools without any hassle to be able to do life as a presenter and a speaker, which she does all the time as an HR executive. So she found her second wind and really added so much life to the program, tweaked what needed to, and is well on her way to doing great things. So this is Gail from the Canada cohort in October, and she says, "I love this program. It changed my mindset about speaking and helped me see possibilities for future success." Gail is a business owner. You can check her out on LinkedIn. Her business is called Preferred Massage Therapy. And Gail came into the program to just deal with all the blocks about speaking and to get out there. She's already a great networker. I've learned so much from her myself. Okay. But one of the things that stood out for me was when Gail said in one of the classes, she said, she's always been told that in any room that you go to, there's always 10% of the people who don't like you, or, are not like in your corner. And one of the shifts she always points to, she'll tell you that if you speak to her, is when we had that conversation. And I said to her, well, that's okay that 10% don't like you. So what you're going to do, especially in our audience pillar, you learn to change how you look at your audience. Speak to the 90%. Speak to the 90% who do like you. If you're out there today and you're like Gail thinking, okay, I don't want to speak up because people don't like me, can I tell you this shift is going to help you? Speak to those people who do. In every audience, you have a thirsty person, and that is a speak with confidence concept. You have a thirsty person who wants to hear what you have to say. Don't worry about the haters. No, speak to the people who are there for the knowledge, the inspiration, the persuasion. They're there for the motivation, for the information that you can give them. It can change their lives. You can never tell. I put out a little clip. I think it went out. The team put it out this morning. Something about like speak up because your story can change a life. Literally. And that's what you learn in Speak with Confidence. So this is Gladys. Gladys says, and she's from the Canada cohort as well, "It helped me to focus on my message and my audience. And I also got to meet other accomplished women." So this cohort just happened to be only women. But, we've had mixed cohorts in the past, and we're open to that. I was so happy for Gladys coming through this program because Gladys is like, she's science based, very cut and dried, okay? And she learned, especially in this Canadian context, she learned to just lighten up a little bit, make the small talk. It's not like useless. It's actually icebreakers. An icebreaker does just that. It breaks the ice that the warmth can come in and that you can have great conversations. So that was one of her biggest shifts, staying in the class. And by the end of those 6 weeks together for Speak with Confidence Canada, the vivacious, alive, oh my goodness, we got the full Monty of Gladys. So that was great. Okay, you guys, I'm going to stop it. I have so many more. We have we have graduated almost 70 students now. Let me stop screen sharing. We have graduated almost 70 students now. And we have a really great closing and finishing rate. Only two students have not in all the years I've been doing this. Only two students have not finished Speak with Confidence. So I take care of my people in the program in terms of getting you through the curriculum so that you can graduate, get your certificate, and so on. So if you're interested, as I said, this promo right here is only up uh, until tomorrow, I believe it is, that you can get a discount on the program, on the international program, because the one in Canada is almost filled. But if you are interested in the Canadian one as well, let me know. Just DM me. But here's the thing: this program keeps on giving. I learned a concept, and this is the last thing I'm going to say. Okay, giving you some real game today. I learned a concept about business, about entrepreneurship, that I see my other mentors practicing, and I have organically introduced into my programs. One of my mentors said, "You build your community, and then you build the products and services that they need and want." So everybody starts out with, what can I offer? What does the market need? What am I good at? That's well and good. But when you stay with one product or service long enough, you gain deep value there. And any entrepreneur will know that I'm speaking truth, because that might be your experience. I I've had other programs, and I have my life coaching program, but you Speak with Confidence has been particularly, it's been there with me all this time. I've been doing this program since our first cohort was February of 2021. Here's what happened. As the cohorts have progressed and developed, we're now about to go into the 10th cohort. This is what I've realized. I have developed products and services to add to the Speak with Confidence brand because of how my students, the graduates, have developed. Remember, I told you about the confidence thing? These people, you come to Speak with Confidence, you get more confident. What happens when you get more confident? You're able to step out and do more things. So I'm currently crafting the survey now to find out all the students, because I'm not in contact with all the graduates. But most graduates, or at least it seems to me, at least 40 to 50% of the graduates after leaving this program go on to do bigger jobs, get bigger roles within their companies. Some move countries. Oh, geez. Some start businesses. There is something about confidence that it is a muscle. You get confident in one area, and Speak with Confidence is holistic. You get confident in that area, and you go out to be confident in other areas. So here's what I did. When I realized that my students were becoming more confident as a result of everything that we had done in class, I was like, I need to add in more value for these people, because these are my people. These are the graduates. Like, so this is what happened. Then I instituted, because I'm also great at preparing people for interviews. Like, I teach you how to fight. Like, an interview is a fight. No, you're not going to go in que sera sera. You're going to go in with that red hot desire. I want this job. I'm going to get this job. I'm going to do what it requires for me to study, learn, do whatever I have to ensure that when I get in there, I'm ready. Okay. So I added this on. So every Speak with Confidence graduate After you've done the program, you have a credit of 1 hour with me to give you interview prep. You know why? At some which what way you will want to move because you are more confident. You will see other opportunities that before you had closed your eyes to. And most of them get to use that credit. And most of them go on to bigger jobs. We haven't had 100% success rate. I don't think anybody does. There are so many factors when people are doing interviews, but we have high. Most people who go for interviews after doing this work with me, they get the jobs. And that came as a result of seeing what happened when people were more confident. Then the other thing we added on is when you join Speak with Confidence, we have monthly meetups where students get to present. So, we're building it like, Toastmasters kind of thing. We're doing our own thing authentically. But the thing is, I realized after doing Speak with Confidence, some students went right back into their caves. Yes, I had more confidence, but the way that you get better at public speaking is to continue public speaking. And so we have provided and we are developing it even here in Canada to be able to have those Speak with Confidence meetups once a month or twice a month after you graduate so that you can come back and continue your speaking. When I tell you this program is one that I am super proud of, it's one that will stand the test of time by the grace of God. And it's one that will keep on providing value for students because I'm just so vested in it. It's just the truth, right? And so now you get to continue speaking. It's not one and done. You become part of a family. There are networking opportunities. We are represented in more than 10 or 15 countries by now because everybody's spread out in the diaspora all over the world. They're spread out. You get to meet them. And so now my own challenge is we're looking to how to bring the Canadian and the international cohorts together for better networking and just improving everybody's life because more people. So that's happening. So here's the latest and perhaps the last feature that I think you will like if you're listening to me here today. Now I'm coming to do the testimonials and ask people, do you want to write something, say something? And most people say yes, honestly. But like, I have not coerced anybody. It's not a stipulation that you have to do this testimonial. All of those ones, they have willingly had these great experiences and they want to showcase and say something about the program. But then I realized a lot of my students don't have professional headshots, and so we're adding this from this cohort. When you're done with Speak with Confidence, we are going to arrange for you to take a professional headshot because you need it, because success comes when preparation meets opportunity. You need to be ready for when you see that job, and that when you apply, they can just simply go to your profile and be like, who is this? She looks official, he looks like he can do the job, because you have taken the time to get these things ready. As many students as you see here is as many as I have not featured because their headshots are not ready. So we're correcting that this time. If you are a Speak with Confidence graduate, you're going to be that person who speaks well and turns heads. You're going to be that person who creates impact and income. You're going to be that person who's always ready, always well put together, knows the technology, can speak with confidence, speak boldly, speak for impact. That's the kind of the ethos that we are creating in Speak with Confidence. There's an elegance and sophistication to the program that is also based on being deeply authentic and human. So it's not like Stushan. No, you belong here. I, for one, straddle worlds, and I love being able to move between peoples, cultures. I don't even care. I am the bumblebee that does not get the memo, and I'm very happy to be that, because like, who's going to give me the memo when God told me who I am? Thank you very much. Anywho, so now we're adding on the headshot. So once you graduate, we're going to arrange, and we have different hubs, different places, or we can do it electronically for you to get a headshot that you can now put on LinkedIn and not have to like break the bank to go spend thousands of dollars to get a headshot. No, these days are gone, you guys. These days are gone. So you're going to make sure that your image is also refined by the time you leave Speak with Confidence going forward. So if you are interested in this wonderful program that has no gimmicks, no, what you see is just a tip of what you get, because there are way more advantages. Just go to this, scan this QR code right here, and it's going to be, I think it's up until tomorrow. It's going to work until Tuesday the 20th, and then you can get $100 off the program, because we are serious about your success. We want you to win. And yeah, we've done it before, and we're about to do it again. So thank you for spending almost an hour with me. I hope you took something away from this. Your homework is to figure out, what do I desire? Figure out, how deeply am I desiring life? I had titled the live, Are You Red Hot, Lukewarm, or Cold? You decide. And what you can further do is to look at desire in different areas of your life. In terms of your spirituality, where are you? Red hot? Are you lukewarm? Are you cold? In terms of relationships, where are you? Family, finances, business, career, um, health and fitness. That's another big one that most people, are just cold about. And I don't care. I don't want to. I need to, but I don't want to. So decide where you are in terms of your desire, because what I am proposing and what I've lived is that you get to a lot of your goals when you first have and drum up the desire, the passion for what it is you want to go after. Thank you for listening, and I hope to see you in Speak with Confidence. DM me if you want more information. And yeah, we can take it from there. But I'm gonna be on. Set your phone, set your calendars to meet me here every Monday at this time from 6 o'clock, 6 a.m. MST. I go live on Instagram a lot more. It's a little more casual. So like I have no rhyme or schedule over there. So if you follow me at Lisa M Dublin on Instagram, then we can chop it up some more whenever I go live. Don't forget to follow and enable the notifications. Thank you everybody, and don't forget to speak up today. Speak with confidence, because your voice, it absolutely matters.